The Gaza border out, West Bank and Israel proper in. This is the main characteristic of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict in 2022. In late March and early April, 4 terror attacks within Israel in the space of just 2 weeks killed 14 Israelis and brought back images of fear in the streets that Israelis thought were long gone.
Will this problem ever end? We have to be afraid every time we leave our homes. Every day it happens somewhere else.
The first 2 attacks in the southern city of Beersheba and the northern city of Hadera were carried out by Arab Israeli citizens with ties to the Islamic State.
There were many shots. My wife and I ducked down in the car. They shot towards us, and we ducked down inside.
It was a worrying development, though it should be said that the vast majority of the Arab Israeli community stays away from terrorism. The next 2 attacks showed where exactly Israel should mostly operate. The shooting attacks in Tel Aviv and Bnei Brak were carried out by Palestinians from the area of Jenin who crossed the security barrier armed and ready to kill.
Families and friends were sitting having supper and drinks, and all of a sudden the terrorists came over and shot them.
Following these events, Israel embarked on a military operation dubbed Breaking the Waves. It was not a traditional style operation, but continuous incursions to carry out arrests of individuals involved in terrorism, incursions which many times include crossfire with local militants.
Yes.
The operation initially focused on Jenin, sort of a no man's land with no real governance, a perfect place for militant cells to sprout.
The resistance will keep acting in Israeli cities. However, our main aim is to protect the Jenin camp, to protect our people and our land.
Another terror attack within Israel in early May, this time in the ultra-Orthodox city of Elad, showed that the operation should focus on the entire West Bank, not just Jenin. Operation Breaking the Waves was successful in bringing down the level of violence in Israel proper, which has decreased dramatically since the spring. But across what is called the Green Line, the one that separates Israel and the West Bank, it's a whole different story. Stone throwing, car arming attempts and stabbing attacks have always been a daily event in the West Bank. 2022 was the year in which frequent shooting attempts joined them.
A vehicle with 2 terrorists arrived to the site. They shot and killed one of our security guards before turning away from the scene.
Unsurprisingly, the majority of these attempts took place in the area of Nablus and Jenin in the northern West Bank, where the Palestinian Authority is practically unpresent. In the past, those shootings came from ranks of the militant organizations, but this year brought forward a new phenomena. Local militants, local criminals, local youth. In various places, they combined together to form an armed militia not connected to any established organization. The Lion's Den, operating in the area of Nablus, was the most notorious of them all, carrying out various shooting attacks, some of them ending with the death of Israeli soldiers and civilians.
We will react to the assassination of our leaders in Nablus. Our path is the holy war. We either win or become martyrs.
After a string of attacks in the summer and early fall, Israel embarked on various missions targeting the leadership of the Lion's Den. The surviving leaders understood the message and handed themselves to the Palestinian Authority, and the levels of violence have since decreased. Coincidentally, or maybe not, one of the most violent years in the West Bank and East Jerusalem in the past decade was one of the most peaceful years along the Gaza border. Hamas was instrumental when it came to incitement for violence in the West Bank, but was just as instrumental in keeping its own front quiet due to the improved economic situation and large number of entry permits for workers into Israel. The only flare-up in early August involved the Palestinian Islamic Jihad acting on its own. Hamas chose to sit on the sidelines as Israel took down the entire PIJ leadership in an operation lasting 55 hours.
In Operation Breaking Dawn, Israel reclaimed the initiative. It restored Israel's deterrence. All our goals were achieved.
What should we expect for the year ahead? In the West Bank, more of the same. The Palestinian Authority, with an aging and ill president, will not do any more than it's already doing, meaning the nightly Israeli incursions will continue, and so will the Palestinian attacks. Israel will be happy to see more of the same on the Gaza border as well. As long as Hamas shares that interest, this will be the case. But the constant drills it is holding show that sometime, sooner or later, the peaceful scenario there will come to an end. Will it happen in 2023? The answers lie with Hamas head Yahya Sinwar.